another video. I know I've been gone for a while, but that is for decent reason. So as you just saw, the car starts without pop starting it. I don't have to use my car as a skateboard anymore. Shit. And that's been the biggest thing yet. So it was a wiring issue down by the clutch pedal. We had it figured out, and it still didn't start. So I was sick of not driving it. I think I went to 2 events pop starting it, and I got sick because I stalled it on track a couple times. And I was at the event and I redid the wiring and I fixed it. There's still some issues, but we got that done, and that means that I've had a lot of stress cleared up and it's time to start making videos again. So welcome back to the E46. And as you saw in the beginning, I grabbed my Mazda keys and I did some work to that, but it still needs a motor rebuild soon-ish. So today we're just going to be focused on adding some of the interior because I don't want it fully gutted. Just remove the carpets, remove some of the rear speakers and stuff, keep the door speakers, have some audio. And then we're going to be getting on. I'll probably be showing some videos that we got from the past in this video. So like when I was trying to do the wiring, I was at a point where I wanted to remove the whole interior wiring harness and trim it down to stuff I don't need, but that's just too much work for right now because eventually this motor's going to go. Because as you can see, we're chilling at a cool 390,000 miles. And the motor has been rebuilt, but it is an aluminum block, so I don't know how much longer it can last. I'm not the most knowledgeable in the subject, so, or at least in how long blocks last. But as you can see, I added the heaviest part of the car back, which was the back seats, because I realized that I want to have more people in my car more often than I thought. And when I had the Miata, it wasn't even an option. So I guess I didn't really care in that aspect. So let's just get into the video. As I said, I am back. We are out here working on the BMW. So we actually are doing quite a bit of stuff. I changed out the crank angle sensor. My seat isn't mounted in, which I need for the next drift event. Fire extinguisher, because I got the carpets out and that's what it was mounted to. Very safe. That is fixed. So shiny, brand new, you know. They like to break on BMWs. So before it was held together by electrical tape, and I think that was part of my vacuum leak problem that was causing a misfire. And right here is the engine bay. So, Bryce, what are we doing? What are we doing?
We're going to Fleet Farm.
Oh yeah, I guess we're going to Fleet Farm. I'm talking about the car. So we changed out the crank angle sensor, or crank position sensor. There was posts on the starters that were loose, and we're trying to get the car to start with the key, which for me is a necessity for drifting just because I drive the car there. But to get the starter out to figure out the issues, we've had the intake out like 5 times, but intake, throttle body, the fucking disvalve, and then whatever that is, idle control valve, I think. I don't know. They're parts. They need to be fixed. But, you know, we're chilling. It's been a fun time. But it still doesn't start with the key, but we also think that might be because we have a bunch of shit taken out of the engine bay. So we're heading to Fleet Farm to get hose clamps and stuff to make sure I don't have vacuum leaks. Right?
Yeah.
Cool. The new Pontiac Porsche. That's just funny. Jeez. We're back at it again. It's day 2, and right now we're packing all the parts we don't need into the 8, or all the interior parts that I gutted, and we're just seeing how far we can get today with starting it. I woke up kind of late. I was supposed to be out here way earlier. It's like noon, but the intake is back in the car. Everything's back together. My spark plug wells were filled to the brim with water. I'm not sure why, but I was on the forums and I just read that like the little BMW covers that go on there that are just aesthetic actually can help keep it out. So I might buy one of those because I took it off and threw it away because it cracked. Buy another one of those and hopefully that'll keep the water out next time. But I did get new spark plugs because I imagine water is not the greatest. And until I can fix the rust back here, I just threw some floor mats down. It's not that bad. You could just see the floor. But floor mats for now. I eventually want to get both seats as bucket seats. And this wiring mess in here will get solved. Not today, but hopefully soon. Today we're going to be replacing all the fuses and relays related to starting the car. And if none of that fixes it, it's narrowed down to my ECU and the DME and EWS and that sort of thing. Probably the EWS because I saw it wired up for the clutch safety to be disabled. But when we gutted the car, there was a bunch of hanging wires, and whenever I used the clutch, it would like mess with the wires, and some wires got pulled out, and it was just the previous owner did some stuff that wasn't the greatest for having a gutted car. But once I redo all the wiring, I should be able to fix that. And my 4-point harness, I know it's not the safest, and it's supposed to have an actual harness bar in here. That's but it actually clips into the rear seat belts. That's only temporary. So we are back at it. It is day 4 currently of trying to get this car to where I can go to the track again. So, seat shakes the whole car now. It's not 3 bolts, it's 4 bolts. So what I ended up having to do is I got a exhaust, like flange stud that matched the same thread pitch, or I think it's called, it's the same as this. And then I threaded it all the way down and then used some washers to get it right so it can fit in there, and tightened it all up. So, you know, that's just the seat being a little loose, but it'll pass. And then I also figured out why it wasn't starting. Haven't fixed it yet because I can't quite figure it out, but it will be done before the end of the month. So this wire is running up through the firewall, and then there's a wire coming from my immobilizer system, or the EWS, up to the top clutch sensor to the brake, the sensor that's on the brake pedal. So I'm not quite sure why all those wires are there. There's about 3 extra wires. But once I figure that out, I actually messaged the guy who had the car before me, but odds are he won't respond. Once I figure those things out, we will be chilling and the car will start every time. But now that I know that it's not a serious issue, I'm fine pop starting it and driving it around. So, safety stuff was done today. All that's left now is getting the fire extinguisher properly mounted, and we'll be good to go. So, I think that's where I'm gonna wrap up this one today. And I'll come back with you guys if I figure out the issue. If not, then I'm just gonna go drifting because I'm sick of waiting. So I know it wasn't a huge amount of content for 4 days, or 4 days of working on the car, but I feel satisfied being safe now and everything. So I'll let you guys know next time.